everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be giving some pieces of advice for anyone who is selling a horse and is maybe having a hard time getting past it. I've definitely had some experience in this area and I know how hard it can be to have to say goodbye to your horse, so I'm just going to be sharing a couple things that have helped me in the past. First of all, if you are selling your horse and you feel like it's the end of the world, just know that it isn't, and that there are many great moments to come in the future and you're gonna be okay. So my first tip for coping with this, if you have a buyer set up to come pick up your horse, when the buyer gets there, ask them if they would be willing to send you updates, photos, videos, whatever it takes for you to feel like you're still connected in a way. Definitely ask for it and don't be afraid to. I'm sure whoever is purchasing your horse has probably had experience getting rid of a horse before, and they probably know how hard it is, so don't feel weird asking for that. In my experience, I've had to sell 2 horses, and the first horse, Doppler, that I sold, he went to a really great home, and the guy that bought him was sending us videos and photos of him for the first month or maybe 2 months that he had Doppler for, and it was just so nice knowing that my horse went to a good place, and it definitely made me feel better about the decision. The same thing also when I sold Kenny back in 2018. The lady who bought him was sending us videos and stuff of him. It was really rough saying goodbye to him. So it just made me feel so nice whenever I would receive a photo or an email or just something related to him. It makes my heart happy to this day when I see pictures of Kenny. I actually found the lady on Instagram that bought him, and she runs a riding school in LA, and there's videos of him on her Instagram page, and I saw them the other night, and it just made me so happy, but also sad, because I miss him, and he was my favorite horse I've ever had. But it definitely makes me feel good just seeing that he's in a good place and he's loved and taken care of. If your horse is gonna be nearby, maybe try and go visit. Ask the new owner if that would be okay, if you could come and visit maybe within the first month or so. I actually did this with Kenny. He was taken down to LA, and I lived about 2 hours away from LA. So one weekend my mom was like, let's go drive down and see him. So we texted the lady who bought him, and she was like, yeah, you guys are totally welcome to come down and see him. And I brought my boyfriend. We went down to LA and I got to see Kenny, and it was just so nice seeing being in the place where he's at and being able to see how he's taken care of. It made me feel a lot better about the decision. I felt good leaving the place because I knew he was being taken care of and that he was loved. So if you can visit, try to. My second tip is try and plan for the future. If you plan on having horses again in your future, or maybe you still have a horse, try and focus your energy on either doing stuff with your other horse or focus on making plans to have horses again. For me, when I sold Kenny, I didn't have any horses left, and so I started trying to plan out when I think I can afford to have horses again and when I can start riding again. There will always be new opportunities out there, and I think you just have to remind yourself of that. As hard as it can be to get over losing a horse, I think you really just have to keep pushing forward. One thing I like to do is I'll go on to SmartPack or Dover or just random horse tack websites, stores, stuff like that, and I will literally put stuff on my wish list. And I don't even have a horse right now, but I know in the future I want to have a horse again, and that's something I'm working towards every day. And so doing that kind of keeps me motivated to keep going, because there definitely are days where I'm I feel like I'm never gonna own a horse again at this rate. But you just have to be patient. If you do have horses right now, like just put your time and energy into them and focus on them, and just be grateful that like you still have horses that you can love and take care of and nurture, because it's definitely, you know, kind of a rough transition going from being surrounded by horses all your life and then all of a sudden you don't have them. Just keep yourself occupied. End of story. I also really like to journal, and so I'll write down goals that I have for like my future horses and like things I want to accomplish when I get back into riding. And I think, again, like journaling can be so helpful. It's so good for your mental health, and it's also just very inspiring and motivating. I would say just do whatever it is you can to motivate yourself every day, whatever that looks like. My last tip is let yourself be upset. The day after I sold Kenny, I'm pretty sure I laid in bed and just cried for most of the day, and I felt so empty. It was really hard to come to the decision that I needed to sell him, but I knew that I was, you know, going to be graduating high school soon and going into college and everything. I wouldn't have time for him, and he deserved the world, and I knew that, and I knew I wouldn't be able to give him what he needed. I definitely let myself cry everything. Like I knew I was going to be upset when I said goodbye to him, and I just let it happen. I tried not to conceal my emotions and try to act like I was okay. And I know for some people that's just like how they cope, is they bottle up their feelings and they try not to let themselves feel things, but I really think if you do that, it's gonna get to you, and it's gonna be a lot harder to deal with once all of those emotions come out. I just was open about it with people that I'm close to, and I would talk to them, and that was kind of my way of venting and moving forward. And I would have moments at night where I would just cry, and like I said, I still have those moments because my horses were a big part of my life, and you know, I still think about them all the time. So whenever I feel like I'm really sad and I feel like I'm going to cry, I just let myself cry. Talk to your friends, talk to your family. If you go to therapy, talk about it in therapy. I think therapy is so great and it can be so helpful. When I was in high school, my horse was my shoulder to cry on. Like I would go out to the barn if I was upset, and I wouldn't even ride. I would just go out there to sit in my horse's stall and just cry or do whatever I needed to do. And I always felt so secure with my horse there, and I felt protected, and just it was like my form of therapy. Sometimes I really miss that, and I wish that I could just go and cry on my horse again, but you know, I still let myself vent, and I still let myself talk to people about it. And these are just things that I've done to help myself get past it, but everyone deals with it differently, and just know that it will be okay in the end, as hard as it may feel in the moment. I haven't ridden in 2+ years. Like it's been a long time, and I still have my saddle. I know I'm gonna have horses again one day. I can feel it. And I hope that these tips help at least a little bit. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to subscribe, you can hit the button down below, and I will see you guys soon.